Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Thursday, new live stream, questions, answers, and more. How's it going, Dobry? Welcome in. Glad you liked it so far. So yeah, another live stream, guys. Whatever questions you got, throw them at me. Kind of do these live streams to get a little bit more juices going in the mind for some content for YouTube. We got a lot of installs to do the next couple weeks. I'm sitting on a lot of parts that just came in and more parts that are coming in. Very, very excited. So just again, in the comments section, man, fill it up. Whatever questions you got. If you're the only one talking, keep firing them at me. This live stream will last at most an hour. But if you guys keep sending in some questions, it'll keep coming. So what's up, PCast? Love the videos. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Feel like videos lately, and I'm perfectly fine with it because for me, as long as the videos help someone out, like one person, I don't care. That's all I want is if it helps one person out, that's awesome. But I have noticed that the views are kind of like just going like this and a little bit down, come back up and then go back down. So not sure what YouTube's algorithm is doing, but I appreciate the love, PCast. Thank you, man. So, but yeah, we just got 35s on the truck yesterday. Not sure if you guys saw that. And then to answer this follow-up question, I'm not really doing it myself, but I will be fully documenting it on Monday. We're going up to Yoda Mafia again to do that. So Ryan up there, he's going to take it all apart, put it on. Should be pretty simple. I think we just have to take the front strut out and put the little top plate up there, put that little bottom plate on the bottom of the suspension, and then put that shock strut back. And then the back should be really easy. Just lower down that rear axle, pop the spring out, and I believe just put the little hat on the back of the spring, and that should be it. So the Westcott design kit is going on Monday, and the video will either come out that Monday or the following day, which would be Tuesday, obviously. After that. So yeah, super excited for that. But the truck runs great with 35s just by itself. I do not have the AVS. It is just a normal SR5 TRD off-road. So all the TRD off-roads, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, I think all TRD off-roads, they don't have the AVS and they don't have the air dam that goes down, I think. So I'm not sure, Scott. So Scott asked, I forgot I could do this. Sorry, PCast. Scott asked, putting 35s on, do I have to recalibrate the speedometer? I don't know. Probably I should ask the Toyota dealership when I take the truck in to fix those things that I've been complaining about in my videos if it should get recalibrated. But I know some new vehicles, a vehicle will sense it with the wheel speed sensor and automatically calibrate. But I do need to just have the GPS on my phone, like on a Waze app or something, and see how off the truck is. But getting up on the freeway, just going with that thing, that engine is unfazed. And I was going 80 miles an hour, no problem. That truck is freaking stout. Love that thing. Appreciate it, Darren. Yeah, so with the 35s on it and the 17s from RRW, a little bit of rubbing. Not much. Was not able to get the truck in the garage today to kind of like take it apart in the front and take out that bracket that I was talking about in my video and document it for you guys. So hopefully that video will either come up tomorrow or Saturday, depending on how I like to edit it. See, and this is all I'm talking about, Ricardo, man. So even though the views are down a little bit, Ricardo is learning from the videos, and that's all I care about, guys. That's so awesome. Appreciate it, Ricardo. So Matt said that he went to a place to paint his stash. What he's talking about is the Tundra mustache. People are calling the grill, so where the chrome is on my Tundra, a lot of people are calling it a mustache. And the guy looked at it, and he said, no, won't last. He would not paint it. Is this just a bad painter or is he right? So a lot of people have been wrapping it. I know Running for Tacos, they took all theirs out. If you guys haven't gone over to their YouTube, go over to their YouTube. They have a 2022 Lunar Rock Tundra They've put a lot on it already. Roof rack, they put the CBI bumper on it, Westcott lift, everything. But they took the chrome off the back of theirs. To my knowledge, TRDJON painted it. And then also the mustache too, they took it off and painted it. So maybe that individual, the painter, wasn't comfortable about taking all the parts off, and it should last. If you sand it down properly and repaint it, it should last. It would be very expensive, but depending on the color of your truck, if you can go to a vinyl shop, maybe wrapping it in vinyl would be cheaper anyways than paint. So maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Martin says, how far can you stand to open and unlock your door? Because I have a 2022 Tundra and I have to stay at least 10 feet away. You mean like with the clicker, like with the key fob? I'm not really sure. To be completely honest, when I'm gonna drive that truck, I literally just put the key in my pocket and I just do the keyless entry with the door. So I've unlocked it from my house. So yes, I am 10 feet away, but I use keyless entry pretty much all the time with mine, Martin. Sorry about that, if that didn't answer your question. There, I got you on this one, PCast. Keep it up, John. Love the Tundra and 4Runner video. So helpful. Yep, no problem. Just another company from an individual from Headlight Revolution reached out to me too. So we may be trying some new headlight housings too. The Alpha X headlights and the 4Runner have been stout. They've been awesome. And still waiting on my Westcott Designs kit lift for the 4Runner. And just, I need to start diving deep onto trail4runner.com and just seeing really what else to do with it to keep it as an OEM vehicle. And to be honest, guys, and if you don't like this idea, let me know in the comments real quick. But I love the TRD Pro 4Runner, but I've kind of contemplated back and forth buying a new 4Runner, selling that one, and then just buying a new one and starting fresh for some mods now that I'm on YouTube for like 3 years now and a bit more comfortable with it. And then just doing all those videos over again. But I really like my TRD Pro and I like that color, so it's going to be hard to give it up. So do I have to lift it with the 35s I have on it? No, I really don't. So in the tires video and the wheels video that I posted last night, I kind of showed briefly on what absolutely rubbed on it. And that's at full lock. So when I went full lock on the truck and I backed out of the driveway at Yoda Mafia, it ripped the mud flap off. So if you're not gonna go crazy off road with the truck, then I would say you could put 35s on it with no issue. But the moment you probably start to articulate the front end a little bit and stuff that tire up in the wheel well, it may have some issues with some rubbing, to where a lift would be nice just to give you some more travel or move that tire away from that wheel well just a little bit more. But yeah, if you're mainly street driving the truck, you don't need a lift for these trucks. Just minimal trimming. And it's not even trimming because Toyota put felt liner around that front end. So just moving some stuff out of the way, good to go. It's pretty sweet. Freaking love it. Way easier to put 35s on a Tundra than a freaking 4Runner or Tacoma. That is for sure. How long did I wait for the, I assume this is Westcott Design lift. I'm on day 25 when I emailed them. They pushed back shipping 6 to 8 weeks. So the thing with the Westcott Designs kits right now is they are very, very, very particular about how their products go out. So Jeff wants the highest quality of stuff to go out. With me doing this, like videos for them to help promote their stuff, I've been in contact with him and he sent me out a non-anodized kit. So they're getting these kits made very, very quick, Luis. But what is happening is their anodized facility that they go to basically to get these nice and anodized so they don't fail, they don't corrode, they don't rust, anything like that. That is what is backed up. So they have all these kits made, but it's just that next step in their process is taking a long time. And the 2022s, people are blowing them up for these kits. So they're kicking production like in the overdrive, but it's just that supply and demand issue right now. Like a lot of companies are facing, it's just waiting on products to get anodized. Maybe if you email them again, if you're in a dry place, like Arizona or California, just somewhere where it's not as humid or you don't have salt on the road, maybe ask, hey, can I get a non-anodized kit? But they're doing it for perfection to make sure that every single kit that they send out is going to be perfect and you have no issues. So I guess she heard me about selling the 4Runner. Whoops. My wife says don't sell the car or the 4Runner. We'll see about that. Patrick says, having both types of headlights, which had better output, Alpha Rex or BX built? So the BX built was on the 4th gen 4Runner that we did a giveaway on, and the Alpha Rex obviously on the 5th gen. So probably the Alpha Rex, honestly. The BX built ones that we had for the 4th gen, they got condensation in them pretty fast. I'm not sure why. And then we gave it to the winner for that giveaway, and they were in contact with BX Bill. I haven't followed up with him actually, but I'm not sure what avenue he took, but I know that they were replacing the lights. So as far as light output, the Alpha Rex ones were good. The brights on the BX built were really, really nice because they had an actual pod in there. To my knowledge, I believe they had like an actual pod. So that was bright. But as far as just normal low beam lights, I feel like the Alpha Rex was very good. What made me choose the Westcott designs for the Tundra? So I don't know. I mean, of the kits that were out at the time, I wanted the Westcott designs because it wasn't just like a hockey puck. I call it a hockey puck, but it wasn't just like a spacer lift. It wasn't a typical spacer lift. So the way that Westcott Designs does their lift, instead of just putting a puck on top of that front strut, just to like extend it and bring it down, ruin your CV angles and everything for a 4-wheel drive truck, I didn't want that. So the way Westcott Designs does their lift is they bring everything up nice and good, so your CV axles stay stock, and then it just brings the rear end up too, giving it a nice and level look. Are 37s too big? Dude, I don't know. I mean, 37s seem to be the new 33s, right? Like 33s used to be a big step, and then everyone's like, oh, 35s now. And now people are just straight 37s on this new Tundra. The main reason I didn't do 37s is I just didn't want it to be a snowball effect of potential rubbing and stuff and it not being a good daily, because I plan to do road trips with this Tundra a lot. But 37s did cross my mind, but I know a lot of dudes on Instagram are putting them on the trucks with very, very minimal trimming. Lime Rush 4Runner says, John, just came across your channel a few weeks ago after picking up my new 4Runner, doing some research. You have great and informational videos. Appreciate it, man. Congrats on the Lime Rush 4Runner. I did not like that color at first, if I'm being completely honest. But after we went to a destination outdoor trip last October, it really grew on me. When that thing is out where it's meant to be, out in the wilderness, out on a trail, the color grew on all of us really quick. So we had an electric lime metallic Tacoma, and we had a Lime Rush 4Runner, and everyone loved the Tacoma color. And people said that the 4Runner, it's okay. But then once that 4Runner got dirty and people off-roaded the 4Runner, they loved the color. So congrats, dude. That's awesome. Very unique color. Very unique. Martin says again, he used to own a 2015 1794 and could stay at least 30 feet to unlock the doors. Really? Strange. Yeah, dude, I don't know. You could try like the key fob trick where you put it on your head and click unlock, but I'm not sure. I'm able to, I think, unlock my truck like from my kitchen, which is 20-ish feet away and inside the house. Unless it doesn't unlock, I don't know. And then when I go out there and touch the handle, it may. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a safety thing. Maybe it's a safety thing now. Ricky Lee says, are you still wanting to trade your Tundra in after doing all these modifications for the Pro? Yes. Yes, I am. So I'm a very materialistic person. Material things grow on me a lot. It was hard to sell our RAV4. It was hard to sell my old Silverado. It was hard to get rid of my first 4Runner that I had. So I grow attached to things very, very quickly, especially doing modification stuff, especially myself. So sounds weird, but you're actually like touching the vehicle and washing the vehicle and doing all this stuff with the car. or truck, and it grows on you a lot. So I was just telling my wife the other day that I don't want to sell the Tundra because it looks so good just with new tires on it, and it's growing on me a lot. Like I really, really like the truck. But the thing is for like content and stuff, sorry, someone's knocking at the door. But it's very, very good for content and stuff to just have something new. So that's kind of why I was thinking about getting a new 4Runner just for content purposes. And then I don't know, but yes, I am going to trade it in for a Pro. And I think it'll be good. That way we get the hybrid technology. Let's say, you know, I put the Westcott Designs kit on this truck and maybe a CBI bumper, the Heretic lights up front, just certain avenues that I go down with the truck, right? And the Pro, once we trade that in for the Pro, it's a brand new slate. So if I want to put a different type of roof rack on it or different type of wheels and tires on it, different bumpers, different type of lights, work with different brands on the truck, that would be very, very cool. So the Pro is going to kind of be a not a long-term truck, but kind of a long-term truck. It's going to take the next step that this truck does, or kind of step back a little bit in that sense. So this truck is just whatever companies want to send out. I want to push it for them. I want to show you guys everything with this truck because it is brand new. Whatever I have to buy for the truck, I'll buy for the truck, and just kind of like push it and make it be something good. Hold on a second, guys. I apologize. Now my wife's texting me. Okay. Someone knocked at our door and then she texted me. So I just want to make sure everything's okay. But yeah. So Ricky, to answer your question, sorry, this was horrible because I got distracted. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it, dude. Buy the Pro. Super happy about that because then we get to test out the hybrid. I'll know what a normal iForce is for about a year or so, and then just roll into the hybrid, see how that is. And John's big plan, right? Everyone has those dreams. Everyone has plans. But my big, big goal is to live a double life. And that, what I mean by that is I love the East Coast, or Southeast where I live, and then of Florida. And then, well, I'm North Florida, whatever. I love Florida and I love Arizona. So long story short, I want to live in both of them certain times of year when I enjoy each climate the most. And I really want the Pro to just be a cool truck to like do some fun stuff with. But the dream Tundra is a platinum Tundra with a 6.5 foot bed. And that would be a road trip truck, like super long-term truck, like 5-10 years, hopefully. And yeah, so sorry, all over the place with that one, man. All right, guys, keep sending in comments. I apologize. Scott, I have a friend that put bigger tires on his Chevy and it absolutely killed his towing. Any hill on the highway and it would upshift to second. It would be interesting to see if it affects towing. Yeah, for sure. Depending on what type of Chevy he had, right? If it was a newer one or if it's some of the older ones. So I know with newer trucks now, since it has a 10-speed transmission, there's a lot of gears for it to choose from. I did notice, and maybe it was just the way I was driving back home from Yoda Mafia the other day, but I did feel the truck wanting to not stay in a higher gear a little bit longer, but I felt it wanting to be in a different gear. Maybe it was just trying to figure out the tires and stuff, but the motor has plenty of power to still tow. But yes, it's 100% true. Once you start messing with all the stuff that the engineers did with the truck, right? They didn't test these trucks with 37s on it and a 3-5-inch lift kit towing 10,000 pounds. They tested it as it should be. So the truck's not meant by engineering standards to do that stuff with those. So it will have to work a little bit harder. Tanner says, do you have any buyer's remorse with the Tundra? Also, do you wish you got a different color or trim? No buyer's remorse, and yes and yes. In hindsight, for the price that I paid for my SR5, I could have gotten a limited, which could have given me the panoramic moonroof and stuff. So pricing wise, I kind of regret not spending that extra $2,000-$3,000 and just getting a limited. But to be honest with you, the Tundra that I wanted, it was a blueprint SR5 with the TRD off-road package. Like literally that was it. I wanted cloth seats, the small screen. because I wanted to put as many modifications into the truck as possible. Kind of like, I think his name's like Mark Brenner. I'm sure you guys may have seen his videos. I think that's his last name. But he has a black Tundra out in California, and his is a base model SR5. It may just be an SR5, I think. But he's put like leather seats in it and stuff, and he's done all this stuff to it as different upgrades that I kind of can't with mine because it already has it. Like LED interior lights, I can't do it. It already has it. Just certain things with the truck I can't unfortunately do because the truck already came with it. So I really wanted like an SR, but they don't have the TRD off-road package with that. So I really wanted just like a base model SR5. Blueprint color is what I really wanted. But when it came down to allocations, it's like, hey, this is what we have. Do you want it or do you want to wait? I'm like, yes, I want that one. It's okay if it's not even remotely close to what I initially wanted. So that's how things are going right now. People say this is what I would like. They build their truck. And if the dealership gets anything close to that, or it itself, when they get allocated it, they say, hey, your truck's coming up. This is what it is. Are you okay with that? So that's basically how it worked for me. No buyer's remorse at all. I love the truck. Even though there's things that I complain about and bitch about with the truck, like it's a first model truck. And apparently in some of the higher end trims, that isn't an issue for some people. So it just depends, man. There's going to be some lemons. There's going to be some faults with these trucks. People are having wastegate issues. At least I'm still able to drive mine. So I love the truck a lot. We just drove the 4Runner to the beach to walk the dogs before getting on here for you guys. And dude, the 4Runner is so solid, such a solid truck. But the hydraulic steering in that, you're like turning it hard compared to the Tundra, really having to push the pedal down to like get the vehicle up and going. So, I mean, I love the 4Runner because it's solid. Like it's put together so freaking well. But the Tundra is just so easy to drive. Luis F says, I've had my 2022 Army Green Tundra for almost a month now, and I get so many compliments everywhere I go. I love it. Dude, it's so weird because it's a truck, right? But there's so few of them, and those of us that are like that Toyota cult, right? Or that Toyota community, and we know what other Toyotas are and stuff, and we like other trucks, Toyota product trucks. Yeah, it's crazy. So I've gotten compliments on a white SR5, like the blandest of color, the most generic color. I mean, that in silver, but people are like, dude, I like the truck a lot. It looks good. We were driving on the highway here. It's called a highway, but we got stopped at a stoplight on the highway. And this dude on a motorcycle, he like looked down and he looked at me. He's like, nice, dude. And it's like, dude, it's a truck. It's just a truck. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Mike Stanton says, are you considering doing Sequoia content when the new one comes out, or are there any channels you would recommend for that content if you are not? So I am going to do as much as possible Sequoia content whenever a press vehicle becomes available, and that content blew up on my channel. I did not expect it to do that well. I knew that some of those individuals that have been in the 4Runner for a while, when I saw that new Sequoia and got all the embargo material, I knew that it was going to do really well. But that video of mine got over 1 million views, which is absolutely crazy that I got a video that got over 1 million views. And the hype for the new Sequoia blows everything out of the water that Toyota really thought. So I feel like a lot of people are more hyped about the Sequoia than they were the Tundra, just based on the views and the comments that video got versus a lot of other things for the Tundra. So the Tundra they knew was a big deal because they sell a lot of them. So Toyota did like a slow release for the Tundra, little teasers and stuff here and there. The Sequoia was just there. Like there we were in California. They told us, hey, there's going to be something big that's coming. Then we got the embargo material, and then they said, yep, we're just going to reveal it tonight, and you guys go record it and have fun. So it's kind of weird. But then everyone was taken by storm with it. So I'm not sure if it's just the way that Toyota just revealed it. Hey, here it is. And then super limited information, because literally all the information on the Sequoia right now is what we all got that night. Now, Scott Brady, I believe he has the Overland Journal, I think. But they're doing Cruising Moab right now. So he may have some podcasts and stuff on that truck. I know TCT Magazine There you may have some more content with it too, because they are having some hands-on stuff right now with the Sequoia TRD Pro out in Moab right now. So there may be some journalists that were able to go to that. You may see it come across YouTube in the next couple days. I'm not sure if they had any embargo material, but I did just see that on Instagram that people are now getting their hands on the Sequoia again out in Moab, some journalists and stuff. So that is very cool. And then last question I got until you guys send some more is, it's not even a question. It's just Disco Steve saying hello from the North Pole. What's up, man? North Pole, Alaska. Man, I was at, it's Eielson up there, right? Eielson Air Force Base for a TDY from Korea. Just basically like, hey, you go there for a little bit. And we drove into the North Pole. And it was kind of weird if that is where you're at, Disco Steve, North Pole, Alaska. And I mean, it was, I think, October. And you go in there and all the, I mean, it's Christmas themed year round, which is crazy. All their street lights are candy canes. We went to I think it was a Chinese buffet in there or something. But yeah, North Pole, Alaska, craziest thing ever. It was pretty cool. Ricky Lee, why is that? Finding a new Tundra TRD off-road is so hard to find in the southern states besides the whole chip shortage. What other reason could it be? For example, Georgia or Alabama? So Southeast Toyota is kind of weird. They're, to my knowledge, I believe like a private company versus the other regions in the United States. So we kind of get not pushed to the end of the line, but it's really hard to get trucks here. And I was desperate. I was talking the whole way that I got into this relationship, like with Westcott Designs, is because they had a ton of trucks coming in. I was like, Jeff, if you know anything, anyone, any connections in Arizona, I will book a flight to get there to get a truck if they're not claimed. Like if somehow a dealership has one that is not claimed, then just let me know. I did get in contacts with people in Texas and Arizona and up in one of the Carolinas. And then I was talking to people in Louisiana as well, like where I bought the first gen Tundra from. And they were still a month or two out. So I was on several lists. I think I was on 4 or 5 lists to get a truck at worst case scenario in March into April. So like I would just be getting the truck a couple of weeks ago. And then my contact for Florida pulled through and it was awesome. So I was able to get it through Florida through Southeast Toyota. And then it was allocated to the Panama City Toyota dealership, where they don't do a markup. So they sell at MSRP. Their inventory is very low, but they sell them at MSRP. They're more about volume than they are price gouging people, especially in this market. So very, very cool. Martin York says, I want to put bigger tires on my 2022 Limited, but I do not want to put a lift on it. What would you recommend? So I was thinking about this the other day, Martin. Like if I didn't do YouTube and I didn't do Instagram and for the, not the clickbait, right? But the more clickable videos of what the general off-road community is going to do by putting 35s on these trucks, or like the biggest tires possible. Like, hey, what do I have to do to clear them? I was really thinking about what size tires that I would have put on the truck and offset, right? So the offset, I actually really like it a lot. And the RRW wheels, they're freaking killer. They look so good on the Tundra. But I think I would have either went with like 285s or 295s, or maybe just like a true 33. So however that tire math, I don't do good tire math, but however that tire math gets to about 33-inch tires, I feel like that's the biggest that I would have put on the Tundra. 35s, they work perfectly fine. The truck scoots with them. I drag raced, and spoiler alert, because you guys are in this, you guys are some of the best followers because you're watching the live stream, which is awesome. And that's not, I mean, other people are working, I get that, but you guys had the availability to come here tonight, which is awesome. But the owner of Yoda Mafia, Breland, he has a supercharged, a Harrop supercharged 5.7 2021 Tundra. Thing freaking scoots. So when we put the 35s on the My Truck 2, we lined them up and we raced, we drag raced. It's pretty sick. So the video will be coming out probably this weekend. It's not like the best video because I just had the GoPro out there. It was just like, hey, let's just do this real quick. So I had like a GoPro at the end. I had my phone like holding onto the steering wheel as we were going. But the new Tundra, it put up a fight. And I mean, I did win, but like I did lose. So you guys will just have to see the video. But when that 5.7, when that original iForce V8, because we had our windows down too, just came roaring past, like, and it shifted like, bah, bah, bah. I mean, it scoots, dude. Something about a supercharged V8, man. That truck just went really, really far. And this is totally off topic of what your question was, dude. But 33-inch tires, I feel like would be not too big and not too small for the Tundra and still be very, very dailyable. Not saying that 35s aren't, and not saying that the Tundra looks bad with 265s, which came with its stock. But I think that a good 33-inch tire, especially if you're going to daily it a lot, not want to sacrifice gas mileage, not want to worry about taking off your mud flaps potentially and moving the felt liner around and stuff, I think 33s would be the sweet spot. So I'm not sure if you've been here this whole time, Martin, but talking about my long-term Tundra, the Platinum iForce Max 6.5-foot bed one that I'd be going back and forth from East Coast to West Coast with a lot. That I'll probably put 33s on just to have it look good, but have it still be good on the highway too. Get maybe 18 miles a gallon. Luis F says again, are you going to attend Overland Expos? Not sure if you're interested in that sort of stuff. Dude, I love it. Going to the Destination Outdoor event last year, and just, not to sound arrogant, or not arrogant, that's not the right word, cocky or stuck up, because I'm not like that at all. Me and Toyota Jeff and a couple other influencers, we were just there and just having a good time and talking with people. And I was surprised like how many people actually watched my videos and came up and just started talking. And it was the coolest experience ever. And I just had genuine conversations probably with 20 to 30 people, like just at random. I mean, that's so cool. So yes, I may potentially be going to the expo in Flagstaff, Arizona next month. We will see. Still trying to figure out some logistics with that. I am going to the probably going to be going to the Destination Outdoor event again this year if everything falls into place and nothing crazy happens with the world. But I would definitely like to start going to a lot more things in the future. And SEMA this year, I definitely want to try to go to SEMA too. I know that's a little bit different than these Overland Expos, but I really want to go to SEMA this year. My brother lives in Vegas now, so I got a place to stay. So that would be very, very cool. Oh, hold on. I need to hydrate, guys. Oh, I sat too long. Dang it. Ricky Lee says, I've been looking for a limited TRD off-road. Thanks for the response. No worries, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's hard right now to find it. I want this chip shortage to end very fast. I know some of these trucks are coming up onto the used market now, but dealerships are still charging a stupid amount of money for them. So it sucks really, really wanting the truck right now. And you can find it, man. I think not that the I'm going to put your question back on the screen. I think that the hype is still there for this new truck, but I think that they're starting to kind of stay on the lots a little bit longer. Dealerships may have a markup on them, but they may work with you a little bit too. So like, even if these dealerships have them on the lots, right? If they have them on the lots and they potentially been there for a little bit, and let's say they have a $5,000 markup. And if you're okay paying maybe $2,000 to $3,000 over MSRP, then, I mean, do it. You know, if you really need the truck and you want the truck. I feel in this market right now, $2,000 to $3,000 over MSRP, like I was almost close to paying that too. Like if I really needed a truck, I was very close to it, because right now it's supply and demand. And I talked about this in the last live stream too. So if a lot of people want something and there's only a little bit of it, the price is going to go up. And dealerships, I think they're okay doing up to a $5,000 MSRP market adjustment on it. But the dealerships that are super slimy, man, are the ones doing 20, 30K over on a stupid truck. Like, it's a truck at the end of the day. I've seen already, guys, TRD Pro window stickers of dealerships that have gotten these things allocated for freaking 90 grand, $90,000. You're talking $22,000 or $23,000 over MSRP. And then, of course, people in the Tundra chat Facebook page that I'm in, well, I'm going to get a Ram TRX for that price. No, you ain't, because the Ram TRX is 115, 120 with market adjustment. And the Raptor's in the 100 grands too at those same type of dealerships. So, dude, just be patient. You got it. Supply and demand, right? Like once the market gets flooded again, we'll be paying that money under MSRP. It's just how it goes. No one complains when they pay under MSRP, right? Sean Sullivan says, love the new rims on the truck, but it looked like it was cutting it close. Could be risky. Would you recommend them or 18s? So I would recommend them if you really want to run bigger tires. I'm going to do a full video showing you guys exactly how much it clears, like with a flashlight and everything. But if you're going to be in like some rocky terrain, then I would recommend 18s. Even though I really like the RRWs, we got a group buy going on right now. You can buy 3, basically get 1 free. But they are close to the calipers. I'm always straight up with you guys, but they are pretty close to the calipers. So if you are really off-roading your truck and you're in like muddy situations, rocky situations, then you may want to look out because there may be a concern of stuff building up a little bit to potentially ruin the quality of your brake caliper, like moving. But it's going to move if it needs to move. Like when I put those the TRD Pro wheels on the 4Runner, or on the Tundra from the 4Runner, it was touching, but I was able to pull my truck up into the garage. It shimmied a little bit, but it still pushed through. So worst case scenario, I mean, the truck will push through it if you have something kind of in the way. For me, I'm going to do light off-roading out here in Florida, nothing crazy with it. So I don't really have a concern with it on the road, but if you're very, very, very hardcore off-roading it, then maybe an 18. I would step up to an 18 just to be very, very safe. But yeah, 17s are going to work for, let's say, 95% of the people. Ricky Lee again, will you be making another YouTube video on more issues that you have found since the last video? Yeah, if anything pops up with the truck, I will make some more videos about it. When I was coming home from Yoda Mafia, there was like a whining. And I didn't know if it's because I just put new tires on it, but there was like a whining thing coming through the radio. So at first I thought it was the tires, you know, they stick out, maybe some air is catching because they're the hybrid models from RRW, maybe some air is catching the holes and making like a whining sound. But it sounds like because I had like the radio off, just driving. You know, sometimes when you just drive with the radio off, I was just doing that. And it sounded like the speakers just had like, ooh, like coming through it, but then it went away and then it came back. And then it went away. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. And if it persists, then I will definitely make a video and let you guys know. And then just add it to the list of crap that I got to talk to the dealership about. Anthony Tritt says, just got quoted $77,000 after taxes for a freaking SR. Run, dude. I'm so sorry that the dealership, however long you were there, put you through the ringer that long. If it was just 5 minutes of your time, okay, that's cool. But bro, for $77,000 for an SR5, I mean, I'll sell you mine right now for 70, save you $7,000. But dude, that's runaway. That is crazy, man. Thanks for sharing that. See, that is obnoxious. When you could get a capstone truck, if you find the right dealer, you could get a capstone hybrid, the cream of the crop freaking Tundra for the same price that dealership quoted him. That's so frustrating. And you know someone's going to pay that, unfortunately. That's the worst part, is that someone's going to pay that. But hopefully not you, Anthony. Don't do it, bro. All right, Stephen Yang says, I remember seeing a dealership charge $15K as an MSRP when the Tundra first came out, now down to about 9 to 6. Yeah, man. So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. The hype isn't dying because there's still supply and demand, but the hype is dying. It's not everyone like, I need the truck right now. I think part of the issue too is people are starting to see some of the quality defects of some trucks, right? 99% of the trucks are good. Let's say 98% of the trucks are good, but the main comments you see on forums, on news articles, on stuff like that is the bad. So that is starting to deter a lot of people It's just like a Yelp review. You're going to look at all the bad stuff about a restaurant and you'll be like, I don't want to go to the restaurant. But some of the best restaurants are the 2 to 3 star restaurants because you're like, F it. I'm going to go try the restaurant out. And it's good because you're not a Karen and you don't care about the Yelp reviews. I mean, sometimes you may do. But I think that is part of the reason why the demand for this truck is dying a little bit, just because of people making videos of issues on the truck and someone doesn't want to deal with that. Oh, Anthony, you negotiated. So Anthony, who got quoted for a $77,000 SR5, says that after negotiating, was down to 59. They wanted 69. I agreed to 65 pre-taxes. For the SR5? Or for a limited? Oh, MSRP was 59. Oh, so it's like fully decked out. I mean, yeah, okay. So, I mean, 65, and if you're going to sell it in the future, you know, it may be close to 60 if you sell it in a couple months or so, or even a year from now. I think the chip shortage thing is going to be here for, I don't know, contacts I talked to say potentially another year to 2 years before the supply chain really catches up to when you're always seeing cars on the lot. So, I mean, I was quoted 65-ish, close to that for my Tundra the other day. So, I mean, and that's someone wanting to pay that, which it sounds like it's the same type of truck. So, I mean, if you agreed to 65 pre-taxes and someone offered me 65 for my truck the other day, it sounds crazy, but like that's the market value for the truck. So I'm glad that it's a premium SR5, Anthony. I thought it was like a normal SR5 when you first sent that comment. Ricky Lee again, do you focus on just Toyota and Lexus solely, or do you keep up with other manufacturers? If so, what are your thoughts on the Ford Ranger Raptor coming to the US in 2023? So my channel is mainly Toyota stuff and sometimes Lexus, but I do love all, well, I don't love all vehicles, but I do keep up with all vehicles. The Ranger Raptor coming out in 2023, freaking awesome. Very, very cool. The new Chevy Colorado was also spied as well. It was towing a trailer with very large fenders. The truck was fully wrapped and it had very large fenders too. So maybe some new Chevy ZR2 is coming out. What has me excited then on the Toyota front is Toyota really needs to answer back. So 2023, a lot of us journalists and YouTubers think that the 4Runner and the Tacoma are potentially coming out or at least being announced that year. So it's very strange, right, that then Ford with the Raptor is doing it. The Chevy Colorado, potentially new ZR2, is going to get a refresh or next generation 2, right? So that's how these manufacturers do it. If you're wondering if something new is going to come out, look at the other brands and they have to stay competitive with each other. So yeah, the new Chevy ZR2 Silverado, very, very cool truck, front and rear lockers. I was thinking about doing a video about this too, like what I would have in my garage if I didn't have Toyotas, right? So the truck, I would have a Chevy, oh, I'm sorry. The truck, I would have a GMC Sierra AT4, potentially a diesel or with the 6.2 liter. I really, really like the AT4 and not really sure what SUV I would have just because I don't really know SUVs that much. I don't know. Yeah. I would like to have a RAV again because it gets good gas mileage. But yeah, man, Ricky, I keep up with other brands. Other brands are really throwing the heat right now. And Toyota's, they're stepping up to the plate, but like not all the way, right? They know us enthusiasts will stay, but a lot of people are straying away from Toyota for these newer things because they do have more to offer. Luis F says, I must be a lucky one. No markups on my Tundra. Also, he went with 17-inch Method 706s. Good choice, dude. Really nice. And wrapped them with in black and wrapped them with 35-inch KO2. Sick, dude. Yeah, Methods. I almost went with Methods too with mine. And then, like I was saying in the last live stream, then the stuff with RRW came up and I couldn't be happier. They're awesome. But yeah, Methods are classic. That looks super good on the truck. And it's all about where you're at and what dealerships you go to and how much research you do. Like if you only go to a few dealerships and they mark stuff up and you only go to those, then yeah, you may pay a markup. Or maybe it depends on your city too. Maybe in Texas, right? You're more inclined to potentially get a truck at MSRP because it's Texas country. Whereas if you're up north in like I don't know, freaking New York or something where there ain't that many trucks, then, you know, you may be paying a markup up there because trucks aren't as common. So it is area specific too. Do you know when the TRD factory lift is coming available? I think it was September. If any of you guys know, down in the comments, just comment for HK here and let us know. But I think it was September or it was fall of 2022 because I know that they did that at SEMA, I believe, last year, and I think that it said 2022, fall of this year. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it, man. And congrats, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, no markup in Canada because I heard it's against the law, right? I think it's against the law in Canada for that. What happened to the lift kit Toyota announced for the Tundra a few months ago? It's coming. I believe it's fall. Yeah, 100%. So with the new, with those new, the Ranger Raptor and potentially brand new ZR2, I really hope that Toyota does something big with the Tacoma. I hope that they kind of go back to the roots of the first gen Tundra in the sense of a bigger cab, but still a more narrow truck. I think that that would be really good because the first gen Tundra, like the one that I had, and the Tacoma that I have, width-wise, they weren't that different. But the way that they made the cab of the first gen Tundra, you could actually sit in it. You could sit in the back of it. You actually had room in there. So I hope that Toyota does something like that with the new Tacoma. It's going to be awesome. Vanilla Gorilla, what's up? Should have put TE37s on the Tundra. So sponsored by Wifey. If you guys don't know his YouTube now, he's starting that up. He's the one that has the whole Wifey system, the plug and play kind of air down and air up kit. Very, very cool system. And he started making YouTube videos and he enjoys it. So he put those rays onto his Tundra and they look good. They're not my style, I guess, of wheels, but they do look good, but they're not my style. Zookeeper says, have you thought about getting a bed cover? Diamondback cover is nice. Yeah, so when we went up to Atlanta on the first road trip with that truck, I was telling my wife that a trifold cover or something would have been nice because if it started raining, all of our stuff's in the back because we had the dogs in it and my buddy too up front in the cab with the truck. So I was like, having a bed cover would have been really nice. If I'm going to do one, I'm not sure if the Diamondback covers flip all the way forward. I want some type of cover that I retain the whole bed. So whether it flips all the way up to the cab, if it's like a roll-up one that goes all the way to the cab, I want to try to retain my bed as much as possible because it's short. So I want to try to retain as much of it as possible. Will you be getting a TRD Pro Tundra from Toyota to review? Yes, I just don't know when. I know that our area has been waiting on these trucks as well. So I know that we're waiting on the hybrids over here in the East Coast for it. So I'm just patiently waiting. Not sure when it's going to come. It could be in a month, could be in a couple months. But if you guys watch Tundra Dude 34's channel, Mark, he was able to get a black TRD off-road, or I'm sorry, TRD Pro Tundra, and he had it for about a week or so, and he loved it. So that is the one that I'm really, really waiting for. I would love to have a hybrid for a week or so as a press vehicle, and I really, really want to have a TRD Pro for a week as well as a press vehicle because when I go to all these events, like I've driven it, it's awesome. I've off-roaded it. It was great, but it's like 30 minutes at most, 45 minutes at most. When you really get to know a truck, and it sounds weird, or a vehicle, is when you're doing the same daily type of drives in your environment that you would in your own vehicles. So that is when I really start to bond with a vehicle and figure out how it actually is when I go over the same roads that I do with my vehicles, when I go into the same grocery store parking lots that I do with my vehicles. So I know I will be getting one, Forrest. I have no idea when. Even the press vehicles for us content creators are slow to get into production too, and slow to get to our distributors that distribute them out to us. So then when it gets to that point, now you have all these content creators like, I want it, I want it, I want it. And instead of it being like 5 trucks, 10 trucks like the other previous years, it may only be 1. So it's going to be a waiting game for sure. Kyle says again, how's the TRD Pro Sequoia look in person? Can't wait to get mine. Very, very nice in person. I really like the front end of the Sequoia a little bit better than the Tundra. The inside is literally like a Tundra, even though I mentioned that in the video a lot. It really looks like a Tundra on the inside, but you have 3 seats and it's hybrid as well. So I would assume that it drives exactly like the Tundra. It may have less kind of jitters because it doesn't have a loose bed in the back. It's all one structure. But yeah, the Sequoia looks very, very cool in person. Paul says his local dealership, he has a $2,000 markup on a TRD Pro. He's second in line for the truck, maybe first. We'll see when it comes. So, and hopefully they stick with that, right? There was someone that was told, and I'm gonna knock on wood for you, Paul. But there was someone that was told in the forums, or on the Facebook page, I should say, that, hey, put your deposit down, you're on the list. We'll be selling it at MSRP. They finally got the truck, and the dealership wanted to charge like 10, 15 grand over MSRP, which is not like cool at all. So the fact that your dealership already told you, hey, we are going to charge it, it's only going to be $2,000. Depending if it's the color you want and everything, I would pull the trigger on that, because some people are crazy. They are waiting for these TRD Pros and they're first in line, right? But when the dealership gets it, it may not be the color that they want. So they'll bump to second, and then you may be second. And then they say, hey, Paul, it's a black TRD Pro. Do you want it? And you're like, yeah, sure. Because the other person may have wanted the solar octane. So that'd be really cool if the person ahead of you doesn't want it because of the color, and then you get it. That'd be awesome. Greg says, love the channel. Appreciate you bringing the good stuff. Have you tested premium fuel in your Tundra yet? Any improvement in power or fuel economy? I haven't yet. That is something I wanted to do. And I'm not being cheap about it, but gas is just so expensive right now. Regular gas cost me almost $110 to fill up the truck the other day. And I made the video about it, talking about the range and stuff. And you guys really answered that question. So thanks. But yeah, I mean, premium here in Florida, I think is close to 70 cents more than regular, or maybe like 50 cents. It's a pretty big gap, at least at the gas stations that I go to. So it would be close to like $150 to fill up a full tank. Because I don't think that you would get a proper test if I only filled up half the tank. So I would have to run it all the way dry, or close to dry as possible, fill it all the way up with premium. And I haven't wanted to spend the money yet, honestly. Yeah, I really haven't. Sorry about that. HK says, will the factory lift be an option? Will the factory lift be an option on the factory order, or will dealers install it? I believe, to answer your question, both are true. So I think that you can order it with it. Like, you can finance it into the truck eventually, like when we're able to actually order trucks again. And I believe the dealership installs it, or it may be a port install. So I know that they're not going to run down the assembly line potentially and install the lifts there. That would make sense, honestly, if they did that. But it may be a port install. Jason, what's up, man? Appreciate you stopping by for the live stream. Ricky Lee says, oh, he's talking to Nate there. Then, yeah, so they are common on Toyotas. But the nice thing is because Toyota is a Japanese company, and those TEs are those Rays. So then the TE37s are like made in Japan too. So if you're going for that very Toyota vibe, right? Like everything just Japanese vibe, then yeah, I mean, I could see why that is a very popular wheel for the Tundra. I got the Toyota Trifold, and it's been raining like crazy here, and the bed's been bone dry. Yeah, so that would be perfect. It's something like that. I think a Trifold would be perfect for that. Nate wants to put in an order for the TRD Pro Sequoia. Where do you think pricing will be set at? Also, do you think MPG will be better than the Tundra, or the same? I feel like MPG is going to be better by 1 or 2. Just because it's a full SUV. You have no potential drag with the bed of the Sequoia, or it may just be the exact same. And I think that pricing, so it's the hybrid. It's only a hybrid. So what I would do for pricing for the Sequoia, I personally don't know it. is I would look at what hybrid pricing is for a limited Tundra, like just limited Tundra hybrid, and then add like $3,000. I think $3 or $4,000. So you could see what the 2021 Tundra prices were compared to the Sequoia prices, or even just look at the Sequoia prices now, right? And just kind of go up based on how much the Tundra went up for this next generation, which was anywhere from like 6% to 12% MSRP. It jumped up. So I would say look at the current Sequoias and then go, let's ballpark 9%, because they're only hybrids. So the reason the Tundra had that gap of like 5% to I think like 12% at the highest or whatever of difference of MSRP is because you had like the normal iForce motor and you had the hybrid. The Sequoia is only hybrid. So I feel like that would factor into the price too. But good luck with it, man. Let us know. Jason asks, any indication of what markup is going to be in Florida for the new TRD Pro? So I know in the Southeast Toyota area, very few are coming our way, but it's dealer dependent, right? So I know if I got a TRD Pro from Panama City Toyota, just because they do this, I know it would be at MSRP. Not throwing shade at any other dealerships, but dealerships do this and it's on their stuff. If I went to my other local dealership, Toyota Fort Walton Beach, I know there may be a $5K MSRP jump. There may be a $20K. I have no idea, right? I just know that one dealership sells at MSRP. I know that another dealership does put a market adjustment on it. So it's really dependent on your dealerships in the area, honestly. It honestly is. And those dealerships within 40 miles of each other, one sells at MSRP, the other one doesn't. And then you go to our next city over west, which is Pensacola, and they have a market adjustment. So it's really dependent on the dealers. And I think Pensacola's is higher than what Fort Walton Beach is on an average. So, I mean, it really just depends. Steven says, don't see much Highlander coverage on the channel. Spent any time with it. New ones seem pretty sweet. Dude, they are very sweet. The only time I've ever had with the Highlander is when I go to these Toyota events. They like to pick us up at the airport in a Toyota. It's very cool. And I've been in a Highlander maybe for an hour and a half of my life, going from an airport to these events, and very spacious. Like the Highlanders that I've been in are the ones that have the captain's chairs in the back seat, basically, or in the middle seat. Tons of space back there. They seem to drive pretty comfortably, just like a RAV4. So I would like to have one as a press vehicle. I'm just not sure how well it would do on the channel, just because a lot of my viewers are body on frame vehicles. But I should go to the dealership and just start reviewing more Toyotas. And if you guys watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't. And that's perfectly fine. But maybe like a video a week of just a Toyota to review. So like a Corolla or a Camry or something, just to get not away from like Tundra and 4Runner content, because I'll never do that, but just in case you guys are looking for a commuter or something, or you're looking for a potential family car that's not the 4Runner getting 15 miles a gallon. So I think that's a good idea. Near Tampa as well, prices are still too high here. Yeah, so prices here in the panhandle of Florida, we're at like $370 to some gas stations at like $410 for regular. So at one point it was touching like $450, which I have never seen, and not getting into politics on a live stream, but I've never seen in like the last 4 years that I lived in Florida. Like gas at the lowest here, like during the pandemic thing, I think gas on base when I was still in the military, I think it was like 80 cents. It was crazy. And knowing what gas is now, I should have stockpiled a bunch and put some freaking fuel stabilizer in it and just kept it. But yeah, the lowest I've seen gas here in Florida was about 80 cents on base a gallon. And then the high, or the average normally that I was paying was probably around like $230, $240, and now we're around $389, $390 probably is the average in my area of Florida. But yeah, I assume Tampa, bigger city, you guys are probably in the $4s for regular there, I'd assume. Yes, 100%. I may cave if a Lunar Rock is available first, like with a cockpit red interior. But I really, really, really want that Solar Octane. It looks so incredible in person, man. It looks so good in person. And then if this is one of the last questions from Nate, we will wrap up soon, guys. Any chance of you getting a Corolla GR or a manual Supra to review? Not really sure. I know that those are going to be probably very few and far in between. And I know that Toyota would probably want to send those more to like the Kurt Kreifels that have like a car fan base, or the Toyota Jeffs that have like a car fan base. Those are just people in my Florida area or East Coast area that I know. So I think like maybe in 3 years or so, when those cars become more available and Toyota has more of them to give to press people, probably that'd be cool. Or maybe a Corolla event I may be able to sneak my way into. I don't know. But that car went over pretty well on my channel. It was very, very cool. A lot of you guys are super enthused about that because a lot of people in the Overland off-road community, their background was like tuner cars. So a lot of people liked the tuner cars. When I posted about that on Instagram, people loved it because a lot of those dudes had like old Lancer Evolutions, Subaru STIs, because Toyota never really had kind of like a hot hatch, right? There were Yaris's and stuff in the past, but they weren't crazy cool like this new GR Corolla is. I mean, this little car is badass. Only a manual transmission. The exhaust actually sounds pretty throaty. All-wheel drive, which is going to be awesome. And it has the torque system to where you could put, I believe, 70% to the rear wheels. You could drift this all-wheel drive car. I mean, it's nothing new in technology, but it's new for Toyota, and it's so sick. It's so cool. I hope I get one to review. I would not decline that at all. Yeah, still think it's better than $6 a gallon in California. Gas price in Benning a few months ago was $3.89 for premium. Yeah, so before I joined the military, gas was high too in like 2012, I think, for some reason in California. And I filled up my 4Runner, I think at like $4.50, $5 a gallon. And then there was one time too in like 2007 or 8, whenever things were really high. I can't remember if it was like after a crash or something. I can't remember. But we would go out to the Glamis sand dunes, out to the desert all the time. And my parents paid like $8 a gallon for diesel to fill up the truck. And I was like, holy crap. Like, thank you for this trip to the desert, mom and dad. But that is crazy. Like $8 a gallon. I've seen horror stories too in some areas like LA, like big Hollywood areas, where the boards were saying $8, $9 a gallon for gas, which I would just get an electric scooter or something at that point. That's outrageous. That's really crazy. Darren says, yeah, exactly, dude. Paul says exactly, yes, I have a $500 deposit down with a purchase and sale agreement with a $2,000 markup. Perfect, dude. So yeah, so you should be good, right? And if you have the agreement and everything too, if they try to pull some BS on you and told them any color with red interior, sweet, good stuff. The red interior in person. So in photos, guys, the interior looks very, very red, but in person, it's very subtle. Like it's kind of not an off red. Just think of like a tiny bit faded red. So it's not over the top, holy crap, this is a red interior. It's subtle, you know it's red, but it is subtle. As subtle as red can be. It looks good. And then Georgia says, how bad is the rubbing on stock height with the 35s? Ordered a raw Westcott lift like a week ago, but living in Canada, who knows the delay? Oh yeah, man, especially, I'm not sure if they inspect it too when stuff gets into your country. Luckily, the truck comes in on June. Hopefully, it comes before. The rubbing's not that bad. I'll have a full video for you guys, but really what I had to do, and the truck did it half itself, is you're going to have to take the mud flaps off for sure. You're going to have to take the mud flaps off. And there's like a mount behind the felt liner where the door's at. So I may pull that back, take like that mount off, and then pin back that carpet felt liner back there, and that will clear the back very, very well. And then the front is like touching, but the way the felt, it just moves. So fitting 35s on that truck is very, very easy with minimal work needed to avoid rubbing. And that's with 0 offset. So if you decide to do like a positive offset wheel to not stick out so far, it may be a little bit easier to fit everything. And then Ricky closing us out says, love the content. Keep up the videos. I will, man. I have the Tacoma grill video. I'm still doing Tacoma stuff, even though not everyone on the channel likes it. Hey, again, as long as it helps someone out, I'm going to keep posting it. And I really enjoy the Tacoma. It's a great little truck. So, but yeah, got that video coming out. Tons of new stuff coming for the Tacoma. Got the Westcott Designs 0 degree rock sliders for the Tacoma. I have rock sliders for the 4Runner. I have the roof rack that I still need to put on the Tacoma. LFD skid plate, bed stiffeners. I got this cool inflatable camper topper for the Tacoma too. So, and then I also have a Luno mattress, air inflation mattress for the bed of the Tacoma. So like the Tacoma can look stock, right? And then you get out to somewhere and you just plug the stuff into the inverter in the back of the Tacoma, and you could blow all this stuff up and you could have like a camper in the Tacoma. So that's going to be very, very cool. And the inflatable camper too that I'm going to be putting on the Tacoma whenever it gets here is you can actually drive with it. And it's like a truck bed cap basically for the back of the Tacoma, but it's inflatable and it's super like hard kind of PVC outer material. So you can fold it up if you want. If you don't need a camper shell, you could put it in your attic or somewhere placed in your garage, and it's not this big ass camper shell like a normal fiberglass one. So pretty stoked on that. I think that video will do really well for the Tacoma. But thanks, Ricky. I appreciate it, man. It's Yo Asian said, looking to buy a 2022 SR5 soon. Super excited. New to truck life. I've been wondering, do I just go to the auto shop and get a lift kit? You want to run 35s like I did. Yeah, if you want it to be level, I would recommend a lift kit. And it will probably just look better too with a lift kit. We'll see once I put it on. And 35s. So if you're going to daily the truck, I mentioned this earlier, I just put 33s on it. It may not be the most popular thing or the biggest tires, but I think that it would still look somewhat aggressive putting true 33s onto the truck, and it would still be very dailyable, and you really wouldn't have any rubbing issues at all. And then Georgie says again, yeah, I got the same specs as yours. Sweet, dude. All right, cool. You should, so it should be the same regardless. Hopefully the lift is in before the truck gets here. Yeah. So, I mean, and it is dependent on tires too. So sometimes some tires are true 35s and others are like 34 and a quarter and they round up to 35s as well. So just look on that manufacturer's site to see how big that tire actually is. Cause I know Nittos, I believe, are pretty dang close to like legit 35, if not at 35. But other manufacturers may be at like 34 and a quarter and they round up to 35 just to say they're 35s, depending on the tread of the tire. So just take a look at that, man. It'll look awesome. And yeah, let me know. Email me, message me on Instagram, whatever, or just keep commenting here about your truck, man. And I try to comment back to everyone. So guys, I appreciate you coming in on your Thursday night. If you guys are going to go watch the NFL draft, I have no idea what time it's on. I just saw Jeff talking about it because his loser Lions are getting a second round draft pick or whatever. But guys, enjoy your night. I appreciate it. And I'll get, it's your Asian. I just saw you. Are you looking to do anything to the muffler to get a dope growl going? Not at the moment. I kind of want the TRD exhaust to come out for us to just buy, because that did sound pretty good. But no offense to anyone that has gotten a like MagnaFlow system or I forget, there's another brand out there. I have to hear it in person. because the camera pickup of it, I don't care for it. The way it just sounds on my speaker, like on my laptop or in my headphones. I haven't been impressed with how it sounds with an aftermarket exhaust versus honestly how the truck sounds stock. I like how the truck sounds stock, honestly. I like hearing more of the turbo and more of the motor itself versus potentially droning exhaust. So, and thanks, Steven. I appreciate it, man. Guys, thank you for everything, everyone's questions. I believe I got to everyone. If I didn't, I apologize. And I'll try to get you guys next time or in a comment on another video. So you guys have a great night. I'll catch you in the next one. All right. See you later.